About Crypto. I'm David James, the Job Whisperer, and we've got another episode of Bit About Crypto. I'm really excited about today's guest, but before I talk about my enthusiasm, my hubris, my excitement about today's guest, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my partner, robo-recruiter, Dave Hampton. Talk about it, man.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, another week.
Yep, another week. I'm pretty excited about today's guest as well.
And for those of you in podcast land, it must be 2 p.m. on Sunday, and here we are again. So, we Bit About Crypto is a human interest story where we collect interesting people. And we want to hear about their life story, and we want to share that life story with you through their experiences. And what they have in common, two things. They're all human beings, and they all have a crypto take. And some of them are amazing. And today's guest is going to be not going to disappoint, I'm sure. However, we own a recruiting firm called Blockchain Recruiters.
Blockchain Recruiters.
Blockchain Recruiters.net.
That's right. That's where you can find us.
Yeah.
If you don't find us there, you won't get in the net.
Yeah. So here's the first thing I'm going to say. If you are someone who wants to repurpose your life, or you're already in the crypto space, in the crypto sphere, and you want to work somewhere, then you contact me. I'm the one that, all paperwork goes through my desk, as we say, if you're a candidate. And if you want to be a candidate, right? Because you might have an intention where you actually want to be repurposed in your life in this new dynamic, evolving, dawning of the age of Aquarius thing, which is blockchain, crypto, NFT. So you can reach me at davidj@blockchainrecruiters.net. Use the net. Make sure it's a net or you won't be caught in my net. If you want to find me at Twitter, I'm at the BTC Recruiter. And if you are someone who has a project and you need people, well, then you can contact my my partner, Dave, and he'll talk to you right now.
Yeah, at BC Robo Recruiter or Dave at blockchainrecruiters.net, net. Or you can call me with the old traditional technology of the phone, 760-513-6151. Still very effective, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, the telephone is the most important technology a recruiter has.
Yeah, and I think next one is Zoom, right?
Well, Zoom is
video conferencing.
Zoom is a telephone. That's because that's where human beings are talking.
Correct.
Right, and there's just an added stimulation of the visual as opposed to just using the audio receptor.
Well, you can. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the video because now you can see body language
and that's really funny.
Versus tone.
The silver lining of COVID. For us, the silver lining of COVID's where we don't make phone calls anymore for discussions or meeting people.
Now we do video. Yeah.
We're doing Zoom, which was the whole idea like 30 years ago when they were talking about the future. We've had this technology. There would just need to be an impotence to force society that way.
Right.
The second thing is that now blockchain is here. I mean, COVID didn't make blockchain, but blockchain actually was coming. And because of COVID and everybody's now like working remotely, I can't manage.
Which was, something I recognized in our space anyways in recruiting, because I realized that I could work anywhere in the world. And to me, it was one of the most, aside from some of the other things that make recruiting beautiful, help people get, life spread, as you would say, empowering them, improving their lives in some kind of way.
Did you just say empowering them? Like a little Texas drawl there, because you are from Dallas. Did you say empowering them?
Empowering them?
Oh, no, I thought you said empowering them.
No, I did not say nem. I did not say. I do not have a Texas drawl.
This is live on the internet, so yeah, you people.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if you're in podcast land on Spotify or Google or YouTube, it really helps us a great deal if you actually can support the channel by liking and subscribing. And remember, you don't have to subscribe forever. But about blockchain recruiters, what makes us different, okay? What's always made me different as a recruiter is whatever space I'm in, I aggregate all the candidates, right? And so what we do is we have a staff of people who are so diligent, and they are grabbing people's profiles and they're putting them in our database, and we're tagging them with certain keywords. And we're doing this worldwide, right? And the blockchain community really, it's 50% of it's technical.
Yeah, you got technical and non-technical, if you ask me. I mean, you got the engineer side of it, developer side, CTO in terms of C-suite. And then you got the non-technical, which is the soft skills, business development.
I want to talk about CTO for a second. If you're someone out there who's programming Web3, right, and understand layer one, and you actually feel like you could actually compartmentalize work, and you could be a good CTO, because a lot of people who are in this new space, this crypto space, this NFT space, they're very smart people, and they're financed well, but they don't have a lot of experience in hiring people. That's a new thing for them. And when it comes to a CTO, they always think they need someone with 30 years. We want someone who actually has done layer one, who actually can program in Web3. But we want them to be able to program, do programming.
The juxtaposition to me, or the paradox right now, is that you have all these startups, and a lot of the startups are being led by like 35-year-olds. And so you're looking at, they graduate from college, that's 13 years of experience post-college, right?
And in the NFT space, some of the visionaries, like the one today, they don't come from programming, right? So
Correct.
They need a CTO to come and tell them. A lot of the CTOs like that are my age, that started 30 years ago, they're not going to be speaking this exact same language.
Nor are they doing it, right?
Right. So what I'm trying to say to you, if you're out there, if you're a great programmer and you have the ability to actually encapsulate people's attention and mentor and can compartmentalize the work, you'd be a good CTO. But also, coming back, we got community managers, right? We got business development, we got auctioneers, we've got art appraisers, we've got quants, we've got all these things that relates to anything that's creating a blockchain or having an NFT catalog or any of those things.
Yeah,
So
because it's DeFi, or you got DeFi, NFTs, and then you got blockchain technology.
Right.
Right.
And blockchain technology, some people say, I got nothing to do with blockchain. It's like, well, you will. It's like, I'm going to be honest with you. It was 1998. I refused to get an email. I'm never getting one. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting an email. That's what I said. I said, I'm good
Really?
with, because I come from a generation, right? It's like, I'm not getting this.
No, I get it. It was interesting because mine it wasn't forced on us, but it was just integrated. It was constantly being integrated.
Well, this is what I say. You being 40, right, and me being 57, like technology. I mean, I took typing in 10th grade just so I could meet girls.
I didn't do it.
So
I took it in 4th grade. So
well, yeah. So we're talking about know, how different it was, but typewriter, like not word processor, was like the technology, and so I'm glad I did, because I learned to type, and that got me some places. But now today in the new generation, these kids they're handed an iPad along with their teething ring. Anyhow, enough on that. So if you need somebody in the blockchain space, you call us. So anyhow. I want to talk about something that we experienced, you and I. I'm going to just shift real quickly. Do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened?
Yes, I was in my dorm room. I just got out of the shower, was changing, and came out to the living room area. TV was on, and I asked my buddy, I was like, "What movie is this?" He's like, "This isn't a movie, man.
No.
This is happening right now."
No, so that's a yes. Yeah, there are some moments
Orleans,
that happen that you remember. I remember where I was when I was in Chicago on business when Rodney King was beaten, right? And I said to myself, the volume was down. I said, I'm not Chicago. I was in Boston. Yeah. And I said, man, these cops in Boston are just brutal. I mean, but what I'm saying is you always remember where you were when, when you were shocked, like, hey, this can't be happening.
Right.
Where were we when Kobe Bryant died, when we learned?
On the 9th hole at the Crosby Club.
We sure were.
At the tee box.
We had just teed off, right? And ironically, a significant person in our life, right? Dr. Darryl Gross was playing with us.
Gross, yeah.
Right? The athletic director.
Former AD at Syracuse.
And USC.
And USC. And now at LA.
And it's like, he says, this can't be true. And I said, who's reporting it? He said, TMZ. I said, TMZ doesn't put out stuff that's not verified. And remember how like we really didn't say anything for like the next 4 holes?
Yeah, man.
I mean, no one was talking, no good shot. It's like, this can't be happening, right? Well, the reason is that our next guest, I'm taking so much away from him. Our next guest has actually got a great Kobe Bryant
I appreciate the segue.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with
I
this.
hope he appreciates the segue. With no further ado, let's bring him in here.
Yeah.
Gregory Gadson.
Thanks
Welcome
for your patience,
to Bit About
Greg.
Crypto. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So first off, let's just talk about, let's unpack you. It's like, where did you grow up? Kids in the house, brothers, sisters, mom, dad, what did they do? So what were you into in school? Like grade school, junior high?
So start off, I'm from the Bronx, born and raised. Father was a cop. My mom was in sales. She worked for Tiffany & Company back in the day.
Okay.
And interesting enough, I went to Catholic schools, my whole life up and through high school. My mom sent me to a public school, and I just kept getting in trouble, but my grades kept going up. So she was just like,
what do I do with this kid?
Yeah, what do I do? So
you were bored, weren't you? You were bored.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to talk a lot. I used to question things a lot.
No, man, you don't talk that much, man.
No, we all have the same T-shirt, so
yeah. So went to Catholic schools. Was lucky enough to go to Iona Prep in New Rochelle.
hold on a second. Why do you say you were lucky enough? Well, I mean, is that where everybody wanted to go, and there were a finite amount? Talk about.
Was that a magnet school? That's a magnet school up there, right?
No, it's a all boys Catholic high school up in New Rochelle.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like Regis, right? Like Regis.
Yeah,
Jesuit?
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha.
It's like it's the Gemma Westchester.
Yeah.
And so the Maras go there, the owner of the Giants. I went to school with Mariana Rivera's son. Diddy son went to my school. Sean. No, I'm sorry, Justin. Justin went to my school. So there was a lot of influence. There was it was an introduction into that type of world. You know.
Yeah.
I went to school with kids' parents who ran hedge funds. They were financial advisors. They owned, franchises and businesses. And I'm working class family.
Right.
Nobody hit the lot or anything. So so being in that place, being in that environment with those people, it everybody knows once you're in a certain space, there's a certain language that's spoken. There's a way to carry yourself.
So good. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's like it opened up your world to what you can do, man. Like that's kind of like I get it because I went to a Jesuit high school in Dallas as well, and so much money going through there, man. There's just so much. I mean, and you're talking. I mean, for me.
Tell the Jerry Jones story real quick.
So
you got.
This is afterwards, but Jerry Jones. I'm proud of.
That's the guy who owns the Cowboys.
Yeah, Jerry Jones owns the Cowboys, right?
Really? I didn't know. I had no idea.
Not you. I'm talking about our audience. You realize there are hopefully going to be more than 3 people listening to this podcast. You understand that, Gregory?
So,
okay.
So Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, right? His son was at the age he's trying to get into high school. Jesuits 9 through 12, right? So he said, "Hey," and his son didn't get in, and Jerry said to the president at that time. He said, "Hey, what if I build you a new stadium?" Right, and I'm so proud of Father Postel, man, because he's like, "Nope, we're not interested.
Wow,
we're not interested. Wow. He's got to get on his merits. We're not for sale." So, like that. I mean, to me, it's a little bit tangent, but I mean, point is so much money going through that. You saw. I mean, I was there. I came from a working class family as well. I mean, my dad was in sales. My mom worked, and to afford tuition, I was working on the work study program. I was sweeping. I was vacuuming. I was doing whatever I could to help out towards my own tuition. So
yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it real. There were times when my mom and dad, they were racing up there.
They didn't know. They didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know when they were going to get it. Yeah, I mean, my parents were working 2 or 3 jobs to do that, man. I'm so grateful for that, because they.
So that's I think that's the greatest word is just being grateful.
Yep.
Them. I really. I put a lot on the fact that I went to that school and I was in that environment.
Right.
They used to make us wear suits. We look like little businessmen.
Yeah, like little businessmen. I mean, yeah. Yeah, we had to wear. Did you guys wear suits? You guys we wore khaki. If you're a freshman, you wore khakis and a blue blazer. If you
okay, you had it coded by. See, It was a little bit. Yeah. We at ours, you just had to always, if you were in the hallway, you had to have your suit jacket on. You had to have
same for us. It was during the winter.
And a tie?
tie.
And a tie. Yeah, and you can only.
No tie is no tie.
If you don't have a tie, you better not come to school. You ain't getting in.
He knows. You can't. No. There be kids outside tying their tie.
Yeah, man. That's how I learned how to tie a tie.
I'm a public school boy, so that's just why I asked this question. It's just.
Man, this man, this is another language for you, man.
No. We would see them Catholic kids, and
he would beat up on the Catholic kids.
I would never. I would never. I'm the protector of the bullies. That's my saint name.
Yeah.
Protector of the bullies. But anyhow, okay. So you get to high school. So what are you doing in high school? What things are you interested in? I mean, I know you've got an athletic background, but other than athletics, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking you're going to be when you're a sophomore? Because obviously you had some ambitions and some opportunities of non-provincial influence, right? There's some kids, they see everybody, they're steam fitters and they work at the docks. And I guess that's what I'm going to do too, right? And you were lifted out of that, right? And you said, hey, there's a big world that I
world
see.
to do something.
So what is Gregory thinking he's going to be when you're like a sophomore or like a junior in high school?
To be honest, I thought I was going to go to the NFL. I thought I was going to be an NFL player. I was
That's awesome.
I was garnering some interest from certain schools, Syracuse, Virginia, Rutgers.
Okay, so did your high school obviously had a football team?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No. And what position did you play?
I played defensive tackle. I played defensive tackle. In high school.
And did you start varsity all 4 years?
So you got to be like 6.
No. It's funny. I actually was a basketball player.
Yeah, you got to be like 6'3", 6'4" then if you're playing defensive tackle, right?
Yeah. In high school, I was when I graduated, I was about 6'3", 280. But before I went to high school, I was a basketball player. My father played semi-pro football, and the thing is, I was always bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
So whenever he tried to put me into different leagues, they would try to put me in with 14 and under. And my father was like, I don't want you to get turned off from football because you're 10, not you're 9, 10 years old, playing with high school kids. So his thing, he kind of knew I was going to pick it up and it wasn't going to be that much of a learning curve because of how athletic I was. So he just said, well, we'll just wait for you to get to high school and then you can start playing football. So when I got to high school, I was very traditional. I came in, I played freshman, I played junior varsity, and then I teetered. I moved up sophomore to varsity, but then they moved me back down. I played and I played varsity my junior and senior year.
Did you play? Did you play basketball too? You play basketball?
Yes. I played on the state championship. It's funny. 2009, we won the state championship for basketball and football. And I was on the basketball and football team for that year.
Yeah, but New Jersey's like the size of San Diego. So, no, I'm totally kidding. I'm just making a joke with you. No, I was a wrestler in high school, right? And I used to think about it. I talked to guys. Yeah, I'm the New Jersey state champion. I get so mad. I didn't even make it to state because California's so big, right?
Right.
So he's in the Bronx.
Yeah, it's a lot larger. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, you. Yes, New York, right? New York.
He's in the Bronx.
Okay, I take it all back.
Nothing to do with Jersey. What are you talking about, man?
Okay.
Jersey's 10 minutes away, though. Jersey's 10 minutes away.
Hey, so anyhow, yeah, when I was a kid, everybody hated New Jersey. Now, new generation, everybody wants to be in New Jersey, right?
Jersey,
it's funny how
yeah.
So you get recruited to these schools. So what do you want to be? Like, what are you thinking? Okay, NFL. So you're going to pursue this. So you take an offer, you get a scholarship to play ball?
Yes, I got a scholarship to, it's funny, Temple was the one school that stayed true to me throughout the whole recruiting process. So it was kind of like that loyalty factor.
Right.
They didn't waver throughout the whole process. There were other schools that at the beginning I really wanted to attend and wanted to go to, but then I came back and just that understanding that they were with me throughout the whole process.
Temple was?
They never once said no. They never once said you want to change your position. They were like, we want to offer you. This is it's there. The full scholarship is there. You want it, take it. And so I took the scholarship and I went to Temple University. But I always in my mind, I want to also go back. My grandmother, my grandma Peggy and my grandma Joan, those are big time influences. My grandma Peggy, started in the 1970s with her business partner, a property management business. And her being a Black woman in New York,
in the 70s,
in Harlem,
wow,
yes, and doing it the way that she did, it really instilled a business mentality and a business forward way of thinking as far as how I interpreted things. So when I went to school for finance, and I minored in entrepreneurship, because her doing what she did, me working in the office, me being in that environment, I always knew that, that having a business mindset, but also having a know-it-all to not be dependent on somebody else,
right,
would serve me well. And people always joked about it. They were like, "Well, how can you study entrepreneurship?" And to me, at Temple University Fox School of Business, well-known, highly touted, their entrepreneurship program was one of the best at its time. And what they literally did that I thought was great was they had successful entrepreneurs teach classes.
Come in,
That's literally all of it.
Well, it's interesting because I've always subscribed to the philosophy: if you want to be the best, look at what the best do and go do what they do. Right? I mean, it's like you read books about people who have done what they've done, right? And you just figure out how to do what they did, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. You said that Temple was all about you because you know who Kawhi Leonard is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Kawhi. The reason
we have a Kawhi story.
So the reason why Kawhi went to San Diego State was because San Diego State never wavered either. He wasn't as heavily recruited, right? But I think that I think that he has and had a chip on his shoulder because of that coming into the NBA. He was like, I want to be the greatest. And I think him not. I mean, he was a really well touted LA player. He was in Riverside, but yeah, the San Diego State. Hey, we want you here. We want you here. Everyone else is like, yeah, maybe, that kind of thing. So it's interesting how you ended up where you ended up because God said, hey, this is where you're going to be. This is why.
I got two things on that. So the first thing is so David's the big sports nut fan, knows all the players, knows all the stats, knows who did what. And we were eating at the fish shop, Encinitas, Ocean Boulevard, Pacific Boulevard.
Pacific Highway.
Yeah, give you guys a plug.
Highway.
That should be worth 10 free meals. Anyhow, and all of a sudden I looked over and I didn't know who he was, but Kawhi was there with his wife and his daughter. And it was like during COVID, about a year ago. And I said, look at this beautiful specimen of man, right? Because there's just this chiseled guy, and you just see him from behind, and David cracks his neck and he goes, his eyes bug. He goes, that's Kawhi Leonard. I said, from the Raptors? And he goes, no, that's because I remember him watching in the championships, right? He goes, no, dude. He's like he's going to backhand me. So, but anyhow, so that's our Kawhi Leonard story because he lives down where us because, the weather and he wanted to
he was San Diego State. So
but to what you were saying about the Kawhi story and the loyalty of Temple, I taught David when David came in 8 years ago and said, hey, teach me to be a recruiter. One of the things I taught him, I teach everybody is never try and influence a candidate to take a job because your benefit. Just if you don't want to take it, don't take it. If you do, and just let it forward, and they will always come back to you, right? So always lead with I don't have to make any money on this deal. I just want to put you in the best place because if you do that, then God will bequeath a situation where you as the recruiter will do the right thing, your integrity is intact, and money will be just the natural byproduct of just doing that right thing. And recruiting is kind of like a sketchy business. And I don't know if you had experience talking to other recruiters, but the bar to entry is very, very low and scummy and agent-like. It's very transactional. And real estate can be the same way.
Yep.
Because real estate agents, they really love people as long as they're buying a house or as long as they're selling a house. And today, they don't even care if you're buying a house. They just care if you're selling. But I digress. So, when you speak about that loyalty, I'm a Cancer, fiercely loyal. Right? I get it. And I understand the Kawhi story. So, okay, you graduate from school. Were you able? So let's talk about. I don't think you quite got to the NFL. So
No.
Right. Something happened. I know something happened. Right. We're going to talk about that. Did that happen? Then?
Yeah. Well, it's funny, man. While I was there, I actually got in trouble. Stole a bike while I was on campus. That's as dumb as it is, and as one of the lowest points of my life. I lost my full scholarship because I stole a bicycle on camera. It was actually a fixie and it was it's like a $1,400 bike. And but I got caught. It was in transition between Coach Al Golden leaving, so he had taken the job at the University of Miami, and Steve Adazio had just left Boston College. No, he had just, I forgot what school he had left, but he had taken the head coaching job at Temple, and I was on his short list. And so that was the final straw. And so they rescinded my scholarship. And about the last year and a half, I was just a non-athletic regular person. And so I finished school, was out in Temple. So while I was out at Temple, I was always into real estate. So I actually worked for a gentleman, Doug Fate. He was a big time real estate developer in the Temple area. So he got in early and bought all those row homes out. He bought all those row homes up and then flipped them over into student housing. So he'd take a three-story row home, chop it up, turn it into 3 2-bedroom apartments, put one bathroom in each, one full in each apartment, charge $600-700 a room. He's making buku chips. Meanwhile, he bought the house for $50,000. You know what I'm saying? If that.
Yeah. So he's recouping his investment plus he's making some.
I think what Gregory's trying to say is this gentleman is well healed.
Yeah, this man was, but the beautiful part was he taught me the sauce. He taught me real estate in that man. He taught me how to close on deals, how to talk to people. Like a real estate agent, he taught me how to be predatory. He taught me how to play on people. And I'm not that type of guy, but he just taught me the game. He taught me, Greg, if you want to make some money, if you want to do this how you do it. And so, working for him, what he would do was I would show the housing and I would rent them out. So Temple, it's a commuter school, but it was in the transition of becoming a big time campus. So they were trying to get as many students living on campus as possible. Mm-hmm. So there was always a shortage of student housing. So what I would do is he would pay me $200 for every bed I got rented out. So what I would do, I would just do showings all day. I would schedule my classes before. I'd be done every day by about 1 o'clock. And then I would just schedule showings throughout the day. And I was just, flipping rooms.
Hustling, man.
This is, it was easy, it was being like a salesman, just, you need housing.
It was easy to you. I mean, this is my wife says it's easy for you. It's not easy for everyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
your business partner tells you that too.
Well, I mean,
yeah. Thank you. So
that's when we're trying to scale. He says we can't do it your way.
Everybody doesn't see the world like you. Genius.
I get that.
Okay, but I want to come back to you, Greg. I want to say to you that I applaud your courage that you would come on this show and admit a dark point in your life about stealing a bike, right? And I mean, if you want to look, every time I get pulled over by a cop, which hasn't been in a long time, right? I have been pulled over, but I don't find it necessary to get hooked up, right? But what I'm saying is, if you run my record, there's no good news there. I mean, you might like run out of paper and ink. And what I'm saying is, it's like, but those experiences, I learned from those experiences, and I greatly reflect on how not to be. Right. And when one is not mentored, when one is alone, when one acts on impulse or different types of influences, and I just want to applaud the fact that you would actually say, hey man, this is how I actually changed my trajectory of life. Right. But that from the athletic thing got me to this real estate thing. And also, as far as, being very predatory, recruiting can be very predatory. Right. Sales can be very predatory. And that doesn't mean because it's a predatory business that we as humans have, especially if we work on preserving character and dignity, that we necessarily do the things that are predatory. I could have made a lot more money as a recruiter if I was just more predatory. Right.
Yeah.
But what is a man to gain the world, only his soul to pay? My favorite quote from the Bible.
Yeah, well, and to that end, I mean, the thing about being predatory, I mean, there's nothing wrong with hunting. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you got to hunt to eat, man. I mean, that's just how man grew up, man. That's just.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that to you because I know that's something you usually lead with in a podcast, right? And
thank you, man.
I just appreciate it, right?
No,
Because
likewise. It's good. It's ownership, man. That speaks to you.
I wish the worst thing I've ever done in my life was just stealing a bike. Damn.
I mean, this is how I look at it. That bike restitution cost $1,400, but that bike was worth about like $100,000.
Yeah, way more. Way more. Right?
Yeah,
Way more.
yeah,
And who knows what opportunities would happen, just I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
here's the deal. The key is aligning your will with God's will, and it was God's will that you're right here with you right now. So you get out of school, right? You graduate your finance degree, and okay, I'm gonna kick up on this real estate. Like this is gonna be my thing now, or
So I'm gonna let you know. I work for a boutique asset management firm, FIS Group, in downtown in Center City, Philadelphia. I'm trying to remember the two owners. I really like to give shout outs because they really put me on. But I couldn't do that. Oh my God, I couldn't do that. I
what's that you refer to? I mean, talk about it.
So I was pretty much a junior financial analyst, and it was soul crushing, soul bearing work. I couldn't do that. I was literally on Bloomberg terminals. I was
I got you.
the myopia of just constant the just the number crunching.
Yeah, you're too vibrant to be a number cruncher, man. Like you did the finance to follow the money. You're like, I want to be in the, but I think you realize I can't do this.
So what next?
I did that, and so I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was in Philly, I was not lost, but I kind of had an attitude like things come very easy to me, and so I literally thought, Greg, you got this far with only giving 50%, and so somebody is going to essentially hand you, because you're this talented and because you're this talented, somebody's going to take a chance and put $1 million in front of you. I don't know if it's as singular as that, but
it's like a consciousness manifestation. You just knew you could manifest that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, but I was actually exerting a laziness because of that, because of those thoughts. And so I would within myself just be like, well, it's just gonna come. It's gonna come. Greg, it's gonna come. And when in Philly, I could always make money. So it wasn't difficult to support myself without, needing help. So my parents were always like, well, he's not asking me for money in order to support himself. So I guess he's doing okay.
Right.
There was a thought where he was like, well, he's not begging me to pay his rent. So he's figuring out how to do it himself. But I was just skating. I was just getting by.
Yeah, you hadn't realized your potential, man. You were
no, not even.
You were like, yeah, you're just. I mean, my brother's kind of like that. He everything was pretty easy for him. He got A's and B's, occasional C, but he didn't have to study. Like he didn't have to grind it out, man. Like so, I get it.
Up until crypto, your current. What would you say if someone said, hey, what do you do? Do you say I'm an entrepreneur? I run a this. Yeah. How would you identify?
Oh man, I was.
I know that's kind of loaded, right?
Yeah, I was hustling. That's what it was. Man. I was making ends meet. And I was figuring it out. I always attribute those times to who I am because if you can make it happen when the chips are down, when you start winning a few hands and then you start getting a little bit of a bank, it's even easier to manage and make more. So I was just skating by. But it's interesting you bring up the crypto. So this is where Greg missed another big opportunity. So when I was in school, so when like I was in school, I was cool with everybody. So I was cool with the athletes. I was cool with cheerleaders, the nerds, everybody. I was cool with everybody. I had a couple kids I mean, a couple because I had a couple people. They sold weed. They sold, you know what I'm saying? That's what they did. That's how they made their money. So I had a few people that were making a lot of money, and they were telling me, they were like, Greg, you got to look into Bitcoin. You have to look into this virtual currency. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this was my next question. How did crypto find you, and what year is this?
This is my sophomore end of sophomore year. So this was, I say, about 2011,
12,
2011, 2012.
Okay. So when Bitcoin's $10.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
And so I'm gonna just keep it real. Like they were buying off of the Silk Road. They were getting quarter pounds and pounds for real good prices, because people at that point, the people that were selling what they were selling were trying to hoard Bitcoin. So they knew what it was going to be worth, because they were selling quantities that were for Bitcoin way cheaper than if you were paying in cash. So they were giving discounts just to get it in Bitcoin.
Wow.
So a lot of my friends were kind of like, yo, Greg, look into this. You know, you're a finance major. You know, you should look into this.
You should be knowing this, yeah.
So this is Greg looking at it from a Fox School of Business finance, perspective. It's not backed.
Yeah.
It's being supported by illicit activity. It's not traceable, which at that point I didn't really understand the power of. Right. And it just the scarcity part really intrigued me, and I really found that interesting. But then again, like the three markers that I was being taught in my traditional finance.
Yeah, man, it's funny because Twain. My favorite quote by Twain is, "Hey, I never let my schooling get away with my education." So you have this like complete juxtaposition between what you're being taught traditionally versus like what your gut's telling you is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, man, and just so you say that, so I was like, they're making a lot of money, but from what they're paying or what the school is giving me a free tuition in at this extreme business school is saying that this isn't real. This is something that is a big time gamble, and that would be very dangerous to invest in that manner. So for me, it was I was introduced to it. So always look at opportunities, always look at things.
Right.
I always had a knowledge of it. I really understood the mechanisms and like how it worked. I just kind of removed myself from being an active investor in that. And I was buying my eights with cash. And so that's pretty much how it was. And I fast forward, see crypto really starting to ramp up. It become more mainstream. And then in around 2000 and I would say 2017, 18 was when I really got into crypto like heavily.
Yeah, 80% of the population got their awareness to crypto in 2017.
Yeah, when it jumped up to 20,000, came back to 3,000.
Well, I remember it had stagnated like $300, right? And all of a sudden there it was in August, right? In August, and literally it's now at 4,000. I remember like sending money to Bovada to bet on the Conor McGregor fight, and I had every intention of the Floyd Mayweather Conor fight. I said, yeah, I'm just going to send like $200 in Bitcoin to Bovada, and I'll put it back, right, as soon as I win, because I bet I bet that Floyd was going to win by decision. I didn't think Floyd was going to be able to knock him out because I was greedy. Right? Right. I should have just bet. No, because I'm stupid like that. And of course, I lost that Bitcoin. And I think about that, how much that Bitcoin is worth now. Right. Right. But anyhow, so when I want to hear just about your cryptocurrency career from the time you saw it before we get to your new thing.
So David. So I'm sorry, man, my brain. I'm going to go back.
Yes, you are.
So yes, I was introduced to a crypto, and in my end of my junior year, I had met one of my first business partner. This was a gentleman by the name of Ben Shreby. He was South African.
Wait, what's his name? Say it again.
Ben Shreby. Ben Shrevey.
Okay, shout out to Ben.
Ben, shout out to Ben. Ben is another individual that really shaped my mind to how to be a financier, how to carry yourself in that manner. So he introduced me to forex trading, margin trading, option trading, the Wealth Channel, Bloomberg, Fox Business. He's the one who helped me as well get into that space. In the UK, forex trading is pretty much unregulated there. So he had access to exchanges. He had access to a whole bunch of things. And what he and I started was Wilkinshire Investments, and it was an in-house brokerage firm that we would just self-fund. So we were just day trading and keeping the money within internally, and then reinvesting the money. And so he and I started an investment firm, and then he and I would margin trade on crypto. So he was able to find.
On what platform did you margin trade?
So back in the day, I'm gonna be honest with you, the platforms that we used back then, I can't even.
Okay.
But let me let you know, unregulated leverage. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It was.
Yeah. So sometimes your trades were 7 minutes.
Oh my goodness! It was. There was some days we would make $30,000 in, like, back then with the crypto with the fluctuation prices, you could sit there and in, like, the price would drop $2,000 in a matter of 10, 15 minutes. If you made the right call and had some good stop losses in there, man, you could get lucky. So there'd be days we'd make $20,000, $30,000, and the next day we'd lose $40,000.
No, I understand. I it's grueling. But anyhow,
Yeah.
okay. So you're day trading, you're trading on crypto, right? When did you get to, or have you ever gotten to a place in your life where you look at Bitcoin and you say, I'm going to hold this. I'm not going to use.
David, it took me. I was making so much money trading.
Yeah, I understand.
The value that, and again, this is 21, 22, 23-year-old Greg. So this is like, this is a whole different animal. This Greg is very short-sighted.
Yeah.
Very, just
impulsive.
Yeah, well, isn't that every 23-year-old? I mean, isn't that?
Not me, man. I was wise at 10. I had all my life lessons learned at 10.
Right.
Yeah,
we can't all be so lucky.
Yeah, well,
indeed.
that's why I'm the Omega. Anyhow, I'm just totally kidding. No, I'm the wrong example of how to, like, come correct. Anyhow, okay. So, but that's since changed. You do see crypto as a pristine asset, and correct?
Oh, absolutely. So my sentiment changed at around, as you said, when we had that big time price jump to 20K. And what got me was everybody that has real money was investing in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to keep it real with you. Where the rich white folks are putting their money at, that's where you.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you need to be looking at. That's where you
but this is why you heard me talk when you were on my on our thing, how job market. I said what cryptocurrency and NFTs do. It's equality for the marginalized people, right? Because like some of you guys, and you go back to your neighborhoods, right? So for some of the people, they haven't gotten out. Right. And whatever not getting out means, right? They can't just all of a sudden go to a hedge fund and say, hey, manage my money for me. They can't just all of a sudden say, I want to buy a brownstone. Right.
No.
But this crypto, this NFT thing is just like, if you have eyes, you can be in the dice game. Right.
Man, it's David. I hearken it. I try to tell people all the time. I'm Dave, I know so many people, so I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm gonna just, I know a lot of scammers. I know a lot of people who are young adults just trying to figure things out, and they had access to so much Bitcoin. And I would tell them, you guys have no idea how this is going to reshape
That's right.
the redistribution of wealth
in the world.
In the world, yeah.
And the way that it's being disseminated, it's in a way, if you understand it, it's there for the taking. But you have to read through the lines and you have to break through these traditional barriers that have been placed upon us as far as the thinking and as far as a just to go about things. I tell people, it's like nobody can tell you when you can't buy Bitcoin. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can tell you how to transact with it in any way, shape, or form. You can carry I tell people, if you make $10 million, take $10 million physically to another country. You can take you can keep Bitcoin on a you could keep $10 billion on a flash drive.
No. It's better than that. It's better than that. I can tattoo 12 words on my body. Okay. Yeah. See. So basically, you want to strip search me? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You want to check the suitcase? Go ahead.
and you don't even know what the order is.
That's right. That's exactly. See, now you're right. So and here. Wait, I'm going to talk about this. Right. There's no way that anyone's ever taken my Bitcoin ever. Right.
Ever.
Even if no. Even if they say to me, we're going to send you to jail, I'm going to say, okay, well, I hear they got Neapolitan sandwiches. Can you get me there by lunch? Right? Because, because I'm not going. And the thing about it is, I guess I go to El Salvador, 3 Bitcoin. I'm now a permanent residency. And here's the next thing they're going to try. They're going to try and take the on-ramps and the off-ramps out, the Chases, the Banks of Americas, the whatever that you're actually going to the exchanges. They're going to try and cut that, like the Liz Warrens and the progressives. They're going to try and hold hostage. Just like, oh, go ahead, because I will go to El Salvador and I will just transact in my Bitcoin there, and that's what I'll do, because no one is going to rob me of my generational wealth.
Right.
Because the way I see holding Bitcoin is, I'm going to give it to my children, and I'm going to give it to my children's children, and that's the amends for the past of mistakes that I can't pay for. So, and I'm going to say one more thing to you. We were taking great guy, Haz Terry. Haz Terry, remember Haz Terry? He's got Love Token, the empowering. Yes, right.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the empowerment of blacks, et cetera, and all about right. But he said something on this podcast that just blew me away. He says, no, the reason that crypto is complicated is because it comes from God, right? And if everybody just understood it right away, it would lack its spirituality. So it takes some divinity, like understanding God, or like understanding one's relationship, how God works in the universe. I didn't get that when I was 10 or 20 or 30, and you know what? And I'll understand it better when I'm 65, if I live that long. Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's like, and that's like this awareness of crypto. And there's a book written by Jimmy Song and Robert Breedlove.
Thank God for Bitcoin.
Thank God for Bitcoin. And they're making an argument on why it's the Christian money, because the Bible says weights and measures shall be in gold and silver. Right? And our Constitution says we're going to pay gold and silver, but Nixon took us off the gold standard.
Yep.
Right? In 1971. Now we just print money, and we're debasing the currency all over. But I want to say one more thing. When you were speaking about these really, really smart people, where the white people play, Warren Buffett, where they put their money.
Putting their money in, yep.
We're going to put their money, right? Because the world, not the United States, the world is ran by white men in their 40s and 50s. That's just the truth, okay? And so, but what I want to say is, when I think, well, Cardano is better than this, and what you really need is Yamcoin, and all these different arguments, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, I don't have Bitcoin. I'm all into NFTs, et cetera, et cetera. But the smartest people that I know, I think of Michael Saylor, I think of Raoul Pal, I think of they're all saying, Anthony Pompliano, they're all saying, Max Kaiser, they're all, Jimmy Song, they're saying, keep Bitcoin. And so far, Bitcoin is the only thing I see corporations put on their balance sheets. I don't see them putting Engine Coin on their balance sheets. No, I'm not saying. And for me, I'm gonna give it all back to you in a second. Okay. But for me, okay, I have positions and I have trades, and this will speak to you. Okay, my one position is Bitcoin. Every other cryptocurrency I have is a trade in order for me to make more Bitcoin. Right now, am I a Bitcoin maximalist? Yeah, I am, but I'm not saying that all the other coins are shit coins and have fun staying poor, because Cardano got it at 9 cents and now it's it was $2, right? That's like a 10. That's a 20x. Bitcoin didn't 20x in a year. I'm able to take that Cardano and buy more Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, yep.
Right. So, but anyhow, I wanted to get that in there. So, you can say whatever you want to say based on what I said, but I do want to get to the point of your current venture. So, but do you want to comment on what I said? I think I inspired you.
Absolutely. I that quote, as far as if it was easy, then everybody would just jump on it at the time that it came into what it is now. And even to the point where people see all the gains and they're still afraid to invest a little bit into it in that manner. But it's funny because mentally I talk in that breath or in that manner. To me personally, people that are at this level or at this level of education as far as crypto, I just assume that you own Bitcoin. I don't.
Yeah, you're wrong.
It's funny. I don't consider my Bitcoin holdings like I consider everything else, because I don't interact with my Bitcoin holdings, if that makes sense.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's set it and forget it.
I interact with all my other coins and tokens on a regular, whether I'm trading them, whether I'm swapping them, whether I'm staking them, whether I'm buying or buying NFTs or just minting things. You have to actively keep those coins on an exchange or in a MetaMask wallet somewhere at a point where they're easily accessible. My Bitcoin is my Bitcoin. It sits on a ledger.
It stores the value.
And
so I want to also say this, right? So I don't think I coined this phrase. I must have heard it from somebody else. But when you first look at Bitcoin, you can't see it. But once you see it, you can't look away, right? Right. And so your understanding of Bitcoin, it's like when I first got it in 2013, it's like, how mad am I that I didn't go all in? Right?
Yeah.
But then I watched it go up to from 210 from what I bought it to 380. And it's like, I'm not paying that. That's a ripoff. And then it went to $1,000 and I thought it was over for me. The same person who says it's too high now. I need a unit bias. So I'm going to buy Cardano instead because because they can't all be the next Bitcoin. But but this is really an important thing, right? When we're talking about how Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or NFTs are like God's expression of the new thing. Not everybody gets it right away. But you want to know something? Not everybody understands water. They just take it for granted, right? It'll be there, water our house, we put it on our body. It's like, hey, maybe that water's got lead in it. Not everybody understands food, right? I mean, right? And it's all, even though I understand food, I can clearly show you circumstances in Las Vegas where I understand food or I ignore what I know, right? Because I'm serving a lower calling, a lower greed, right? Yeah. But anyhow, I want to say, so how did you get to where you are right now with however you want to get there?
So my understanding of Bitcoin, I don't know who explained it to me, but they were just like, Greg, it's gold. What is gold? Gold is a finite precious metal that is found in the earth. How do you get Bitcoin? It has to be mined. So and is gold and as far as gold and transacting, you can't really transact in gold.
Can't take it to space. Can't take it to space.
Yeah. And so once I understood that, I kind of likened it and compare it to gold, finite amount. You can only mine a certain amount. It's going to be exponentially harder as you mine to mine more Bitcoin because the algorithm becomes more difficult. Those parallels just allowed me to get to that point and take my crypto journey from just investing to where I'm at now, where I see NFTs as I don't even know. It's one of those things where it's like people don't get it and it's frustrating, but it's like what Spider-Man said, come great power, come great responsibility.
Indeed.
And I know that's really corny, but in the fact
No,
that,
actually, it's not at all. No, it's not corny at all. It's actually not.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's just true.
Wow. I just a superhero, and like I just think that because we understand it to this level, because I've been so lucky and been so fervent as far as my studying and sharpening my skills and tools as NFTs and cryptocurrencies, and how human beings and us as individuals, not physically but psychologically, are drawn to this type of technology and where we're at as far as human nature and just everything culminating in this new world with Web 3.0 and just the advent of this new technologies. And another thing that I tell people is, as much as this journey has brought me to where I'm at, it's the fact that I try as much as I can to critically understand how these technologies work. So a lot of people buy and trade NFTs, but they don't understand how Ethereum and why the gas fees are what they are. A lot of people understand that there's a royalty-based component to NFTs, but they don't understand that that somebody has to write a Solidity code, and in that contract put into that
Gotta be in there.
that you have to understand that. And that's why I'm trying to position myself at the point where I don't just interact with NFTs at a consumer level, I interact with it at a producer level. And I think the best way about going about that is understanding to the fullest what this technology is and how powerful it is.
Okay, so I just, for our audience, right? For our audience, and maybe even for me and David, explain for your take why everybody's abandoning the value of cryptocurrency, buying it and holding it for NFTs. Because an argument has been made to me, NFTs are just speculation, whereas holding my Bitcoin, that's a certainty of store value and ascension. And I don't know how to articulate that. I just don't, because the way I see it is the entire world's becoming, an art dealer, right?
Yeah.
So counter that for me so I can better express that.
And the funny thing is, David, is that unfortunately I don't know how to attack that, because I think that issue lies in how this information is being disseminated.
Right. And that's why that's what this show's about, because I don't know the right answers either. So everybody's going to get their take. And just like I got to decide, I believe that. No, I think that's not true. Right. Yeah. And that's what this is. So I'm going to rescind that question. I appreciate that. But please, since we're coming to the end of our time, please talk about the Mamba Watch. Let's talk. I mean, we haven't got to
tell us what you're doing, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
You got a lot of stuff going on, like you got real estate deed. Like I mean, we'll get to that. But
hold on a second. Travis, we're going to roll another hour with Gregory. Cancel our next guest.
No, so I'm really excited to tell you guys about what we're doing and how we're trying to revolutionize the NFT space. So, an update on the watch. The platform that we partnered with, the company that we had decided to do the auction with, at the time of the auction, the onboarding process got overloaded because of the KYC. For people that know, that's know your client. So if you're transacting in a security or in that manner, you have to know who's buying and selling the item. So that process is on the back end caused the website to crash. So unfortunately, we pivoted, but we at GDGC are creating a whole new entity, and we're calling it the Luxury Asset Club. So what we're doing with the watch is we're actually going to raffle it off and give it away to a lucky winner. And we're going to do this through a sort of raffle concept. So we're going to mint 8,024 NFTs, and 3 of those NFTs are going to be winners of the watch. So each NFT is going to have a 3D interactive rendering of the watch that we're going to hopefully be able to code into the contract that the watch can be set to a time, so it can be used as a watch with different renderings of the artwork that was going to be released in the original offering. And so we're doing 8,024 mints, and out of three of those NFTs, one is going to come with the watch, the original package, a 1 of 3 Kobe Bryant signed rose gold tourbillon Hublot watch. His name, he signed the crystal casing, and it's embedded within a skeleton case. It has snakeskin straps. I off the top of my head, I can't even name the number of jewels, but it's appraised at 2.6. And so we thought, because we have we have an amazing team on the back end, and so we have access to a lot of luxury assets: Picassos, Frida Kahlos, Rolexes, Pateks. And so what we're doing is we're creating this new way of raffling and allowing people to be introduced to NFTs in a different way, and give the chance for people to attain certain things that they couldn't once attain in these manners.
Right.
In this manner. So one of the NFTs is going to come with with the watch itself. So you're going to win the watch and the signed pair of sneakers. We also have a signed Kobe jersey, and then we have Laker tickets. So if you're geographically able to attend a Laker game, you will get the tickets. If not, we'll send you the equivalent in Ethereum.
Oh, hold on a second. Unfortunately, David and I are the only people in the population that are geographically desirable to attend the Laker game. So you're going to have to take that off the offering.
You might as well just send those.
And
to
also,
us.
we don't want tickets. We want a box, okay? I don't think that,
Oh, man. That's
unless they're courtside tickets.
No,
if they're courtside, then we can talk about it.
I don't want to be anywhere near Jack, so the other side. No, but anyhow. So, this has been so great, and I'm so excited. We're definitely going to have you back. Please tell everybody how they can find you. Not about my tickets. No, don't tell anybody about you giving my tickets away. No, but please, Travis will put up all your social right now. So how can people get involved, and when the drop's going to happen?
So right now we're in the process of working out the logistics and everything, but we're looking for a 2/4 drop. So that's February 4th. We wanted to keep it, everything themed with Kobe.
8,024, number 8, Kobe Bryant, 24, yep. Kobe Bryant, right?
24, yeah.
Yep.
So definitely, so keep everything. We're getting the Discord ready. We're getting the channel, and we're really going to build it out, because I'm telling you guys, we're going to be giving away things that you've never seen given away before. Our portfolio and what we have coming down the pipeline, and what's really going to be the draw is the chances that you have to win. You have a 1 in 8,000 chance. Those numbers
pretty good odds
are really, really good as far as the potential to win this type of item. It's valued at, again, 2.6. So you're able to enter for that. So
I would like you to switch the odds to 2408, to 20. So still Kobe Bryant themed. I mean, I'm just saying 2408, better chance.
With the exception of those Laker tickets, that's 100% chance that we're winning those, right?
Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll talk about sending guys.
As I say, don't make me come down there. Don't make me send. Okay.
But yeah, I know time is running out. But,
no. I mean, it's just we got another guest.
I also that's kind of on the exciting new way we were pivoting as far as our business plan with the Luxury Asset Club. We're working with a team of people. We're working with developers, so I'm really excited to get that. You guys look out for that. The roadmap is going to be coming out. We're going to be we're not just doing the same old NFT stuff, giveaways and stuff. We want to organically build this. We want this to become a kind of new fun standard as far as having a chance to win things. We're going to be doing cards, timepieces, jewelry, art, and what chance would you ever have to win an item like this? 1 of 3. It's not like even if you had $100 million, you could buy it. If the person doesn't want to sell it,
right?
You can't.
Yeah. Right.
So really playing on that.
So go ahead.
No, and then again, I wanted to segue into my other venture that I feel is more towards the masses and a little less removed from the
luxury.
Yeah, the NFT space as far as how it's being presented to people. So that is tokend.e. And at tokend.e, we specialize in the tokenization of car titles.
Spell it out for our audience that's listening on Apple and Spotify.
For my audiences listening out there, it's TOKENDEED.E.
Okay.
And that is tied to the of course the ENS. So I wanted to really play on that and really be forward thinking as far as how I want to present this to people. So again, as our goal at Token Deed is to teach people, consult, and help them tokenize luxury. Titles and deeds. So we focus on land. We focus on land titles and land deeds and car titles.
Yeah, so this is literally the utilization of
this
NFTs.
This is the future, man.
When people say NFTs are a fad, I go, yeah, you are.
No, this is exactly where it's so prophetic, man, because this is exactly where the world needs to go. Like cut out the DMV, man. What do we need the DMV for? We don't need you to.
No, I enjoy. I
know you enjoy it. Yeah,
3 hours.
Yeah, go dare to die with the slots.
Cold.
Okay,
I like that. Hey, so anyhow, Greg Gadson, thank you so much. Shout out your Twitter so people can find you real quick. Shout it out.
Oh man, I really need the Twitter Twitter followers. I'm kind of a grandpa as far as the Twitter street. So you can find me at GGAD3Z. So that's G Gads. It's right under there.
Yeah.
Under
G Gads.
GGADZZZ.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you guys take a chance, have a chance listening, really look at tokendeed.e.
Will do, man. Yeah.
Anybody listening, look into the tokenization of your physical assets. It is the future. You will prepare yourself for the advent of Web 3.0, and you'll be able to transact with your items with cryptocurrency. You may be, driving around Vegas in a Ferrari, and some guy's like, hey, I want to buy that from you. Send me Bitcoin. Here's the title.
No, it's like they can translate in traffic through the wallets on the QR codes and just swap cars at the stoplight. At the stoplight. Greg Gadson, you've been a magnificent guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Travis, our producer, give a shout out to Sticky Paws. Here,
Woo! Shout outs to Sticky Paws.
Here it comes.
No, I'll do it at the end.
Okay, and this was great. Robo Recruiter Dave Hampton.
Eternally grateful.
I'm David James, the Job Whisperer, and remember, everybody, get whispered.